I think this will be the biggest threat to Google since they dominated all their competitors,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be very interested to find out how this will impact the way people search, i.e., the way people know how to search. And
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts on how this will influence people's navigation in search?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's already been a big change in navigation. Particularly, we see it in local SEO. People open maps and then do searches in maps. And as SEOs, we think, oh, we're just going to open up Google and I'm going to type in a search, right? That is not how a lot of people use the internet, and how we use the internet is not how normal people, as in non
Yeah,
SEOs, use the internet. I think it's
yeah,
really important too to ask, like, ask like your in-laws how they use the internet. Ask your friends who don't work in this field and don't know a lot about what you do. See how they search for stuff. And sometimes it might be frustrating. You're like, why are you doing that? You could do this instead. But I think it's always good to have a refresher of how people of all ages as well are using the internet. And really just trying to understand, be where they are. And if there's, for example, sites that they use all the time, and a tool like SparkToro, which is Rand Fishkin's new tool, is great for this, is maybe there's a podcast your audience listens to. Like, don't bother with SEO, just get yourself on this podcast, right? Like, those are the kinds of things that you can think about when you're, behind the eight ball. Maybe your competitors have completely dominated the search results for years. It's going to take you forever to break into that. Is there stuff that you can do in the meantime? So really thinking about where your audience already is instead of trying to capture that audience from elsewhere can be
yeah.
a more effective strategy.
Yeah, and I think this is why a lot of brands have moved to TikTok, because I've
Mm-hmm.
also noticed their search functionality on TikTok, and I've been wondering, is this a big play to eat at Google's dominance? And I think it is,
I
because
don't know if they
people,
came out originally and thought that that was going to be a big thing for Google, but that's how people started using it. They're like, oh, okay, well, I
yeah,
guess we'll just do this then. I
yeah,
mean, I think the threat to TikTok are the security and privacy, sort of scandals that are coming out of TikTok now, where they're, actually taking people's personal data and everything else. I don't have a TikTok account. I just read about it. But I think that is a threat to TikTok. Absolutely. So they're going to have to decide what to do about that. And then is there going to be another like TikTok-y type social network that's going to come out of that will end up beating them because they have better privacy rules or whatever it might be. So I think paying attention to that possible fragmentation of the social media landscape, with especially things like, people leaving Twitter for Mastodon, or if something else comes up that can capture the media's attention, because the media isn't moving from Mastodon, they're still on Twitter. So if someone can figure out how to get the media off of Twitter, that would become the next social network, because the media would talk about it all the time, right?